First, I'm going to go over to my campus travel, and I want to show you one thing that I should have showed you a long time ago, but it's creating a view, and it's in the database part. And all a view is it's an SQL statement, and you're saving an SQL statement. It's just an SQL statement, and when you look at the view, what you're doing is you're executing the SQL statement. And what you see is the result of the SQL statement. So it looks like a table, in other words. So you can treat a view like a table. And so that way, if ever you want to bind a component, or in ASP.NET it's called a server control. If you want to bind anything directly to like a database table, like we do with drop-down menus and so on, you can bind it to a view. Now, when you can do that, then you can also make use the DataGridView component. The DataGridView component, it's the DataGridView component does an awful lot of stuff. It's kind of a shortcut to getting a table displayed right away, and you don't really have a lot of flexibility in what gets pushed into each cell of each row. But you do, but if you set it up right, you're able to make a nice grid where you can make edits to your rows and update them and delete them and so on. So I just want to show you. See, first of all, let me see what we got here. See where we are with this. This is your old Visual Studio. Okay, database tables. What does database tables look like? Does it do anything? It doesn't do anything. Okay, let me go to start a form. And this thing, what does this go to? It doesn't go anywhere. Okay, do I have a form called database tables? No, I don't. Okay, so I'm going to quickly make one. So if I go here, I click here, go here. Huh? Do I see it? Is it here?
We don't see it.
Oh. I wonder why that is. I got to close my slides? Well, that's really weird. So what do? Can you escape? Sorry about that. Good, thanks. So this is my startup form. Looks like this, and this doesn't go anywhere. So I'm just going to quickly create a new form, and I'm going to put a DataGridView there, and I'm going to display sales, and you'll see real quick how I do that. And then you might want to use that for other stuff. So if I go here, I'm going to go right-click, new add Windows form, and add a Windows form called database. And here I'm going to put a DataGridView. DataGrid. Let me get out of this. DataGridView, and it's going to look like this. Okay, but then you got to bind it to a source, and you bind it to a source just like you bind, anything to a source, and as many columns as there are shows up in a table here. So I got to make what I want there. So let's go here and let's go in here. Oh, good. Do I have all my tables here? Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay, so view. Did I create a view already in here? No, I didn't. Okay, so I don't think I did. Okay, so I'm going to create a new view. I'm going to call it left. Right-click, add view, add new view. and I get this here. I'm going to call it sales, plural, S-A-L-E-S, sales, from select, let's see, I'm just going to select everything, from sale, left join agent on agent ID equals agent key, left join office on office ID equals office key, left join destination on destination key equals destination ID. Commutative. Yeah, that's good. Is that right? Is that everything? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, so that's my view, and you do the same thing. You update, and that creates a script. Click Update Database. And then you refresh the view, or refresh, and there's the view, and you can click here, and you can do right-click and say Show Results. And there you go. So now I have this nice big long table here magically, and I can treat that as a table. So if I go back to my this thing I just created, this is a DataGrid view, I am going to right-click on this little smart thing, or click on it, choose data source, add a, I don't think there's anything, I don't think it's here, is it? No. Add project data source, database, data set. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Yes. And then I'm gonna this time I'm gonna look at views, and I wanna look at this sales. Now I'm just gonna leave all those there because I can delete these later. I just want to show you the whole thing first. Finish. And now we see that, okay, there's that. Well, we'll see how this works out. Okay, let's just, oh, and now I got to make it so I start a form. When I double click on this, it goes to this new database tables. Tables show form equals new database tables sf.show. And so now when I run this, hope I took care of everything. Database tables, and see now we have this big long thing here. And so see how easy that was? All right. Now I don't need all those columns, so I'm gonna get rid of some of them. And the way I can do that is I can go here and I can click this little smart thing again, and I can edit some columns, and I can just delete them, or I can remove them, or I can actually just I don't know if you ever want to see them again, but you might want to just make the ones you don't want to see. I'm going to leave that one, but I don't need to see any of these keys, so I just make them invisible. Don't need to see any of these keys. And now it's smaller, as you can see. Now when I run it, we just see this. Now let's create an ASP.NET web application that shows the same data grid view. And this time I'm going to create a ASP.NET web application. And I'm going to name it Campus. I'll do what I said for web, Campus 1200. Whatever. And I'm going to create an empty web forms, and I'm going to click OK. Forget this. Okay, so this is just what it looks like when it starts up, I guess. And so we can look at the Solution Explorer, and we don't have an opening page. Let me create right-click, add a web form. I'm going to name it database tables. Okay, now down here, you click over to design. And now you have kind of that's where your page is going to be, body of your text. Just to let you know, we can right-click and add a database if we want to, just like before, except for now it's called, it's just called a SQL database, I think. Web form data. Here, this SQL Server database. We can add that. I think maybe I will. Yeah, so let's place this in the app data folder. That's fine. That's fine. So now over here, okay, so now we have our database here, and it's just like something you're very familiar with. We can go over here and we can add tables just like we did before. The other thing that we can do that's kind of neat is once you have a database built, you can always just go here, right-click, add new or add existing item, and go find your other database. Go find another database that you made before. Maybe you made another database before. I know I did. I made one in here, and so I go into here, and I go into here, MDF, this one. Here's my data. I can add an existing item, and lo and behold, now it's over here. Now it's accessible in this app. So see over here, this is the same database that we're familiar with, and look, I should have my views here. There it is. There's my sales view. And I got all my other tables here too. So now that I've got that, I can go over here. I'm going to click over here on my screen. I'm going to go to my toolbox. And I got the same kind of stuff over here, pretty much. All this stuff. So I'm going to put a... got some kind of data grid view here. Data, what is it called over here? It's different. Data view. No, grid view, not data grid view, grid view. Okay, so put that over here, and you can just put it up in there, I think. And so now I got this grid view thing, and I can click on this little smart quote thing here, and I can choose a source, and choose a new data source, and I want to choose an SQL database. And I want to use, I want to connect to this one because that's there already. Next. And yeah, that's a fine name. I'm going to call this campus 1200 connection string. Next. I don't want this. What I want is my sales view. And this time I'll just put the ones I want. I want sale ID, sale date, amount, agent name, office location, and destination name. We can test the query. And that's what I want. So I can finish. And now, probably want to mess with this a little bit, but do I gotta set this as a starter page or something? Let's see. This is the table. This is the page. Set as start page. Okay. Now when we run this, it's going to pop open my Microsoft Edge. And there we are. This is a web page that's displaying what I wanted it to display.